Howdy. So, I have been having, uh, last week I was talking about, blockages and breaking through and documenting it and such and such. And then this week I've been feeling, like frustrated and this is interesting. Been feeling like frustrated and out of what seems like nowhere, and a little bit of angry and a little bit of overwhelm, and yeah, it's a lot of frustration. And I haven't been doing what I set out to do last week. I just feel like there's so much that I need to do, and that I just feel overwhelmed. I feel overwhelmed, and yeah, I'm not. I have a basic plan on how to handle it, but I think I'm thinking about it all too much. I keep noticing my body just tenses up. Whew. And like I'm getting this squidgy energy right here. Like there's like lots of energy stoppages. And I'm here to talk to you about it, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to say. I just want to describe. So to sort of get us back. So like a week ago, I was talking about breaking through my blockages. And then I was gung-ho about doing it in front of the camera and committing to it in front of all of you out there. And I have not done everything I should be doing, but I haven't given up completely. I'm still doing it, and there's still a lot of urgency. I just feel like there's so many things that need to get done that I kind of freeze. Like I can feel my body just go nyeh whenever I think about it. Like, and it just doesn't even, like, it's like there's so much. So I went to write it down, and I couldn't even. I'm so stuck that I can't even think. Noticing. Like, I am talking about it, and as I'm talking about it, I feel it in my body. There's also a lot of anxious energy in the house that I live in, and it's a good thing to learn to just deal with it, right? Not even deal with it, just allow it to go through me. Leave it alone, right? And just let it go through me. So anyway, I've been feeling like there's so much that I have to get done that it just seems to start to pile up, and I get like that. And I've noticed, like, if I'm like when I'm sitting, whatever, my entire back gets like all the way up my spine, and like my upper back, or where my shoulders are, just gets rigid, and my neck too. And I'm just squeezing it, right? Like, so let's focus on loosening that and allowing that to relax, which allows the energy to flow, which makes you feel it more, which makes, which makes me feel it more, which makes me scared, which makes me clench. So there's a little cycle to break right there, to be aware of and to break. Oh. I feel like when I'm doing one thing that I need to get done, I'm thinking about all the other things that I need to get done, so I'm not focusing on what I'm doing. And I think that can be helped with more meditation. I haven't been meditating the way I should in the morning and in the evening. If I had a conversation with my mentor Walter the other day, and he was talking about how, and this is something this is something I've told myself a million times, like, be the person that you want to be right now. Like, don't, okay, I'm going to be that person someday. No, just be that person right now. And sure, that person isn't where I want to be. I want that person to be, but I can still be that person. In fact, I have to be that person to get out of this situation. But I think back, like, another thing Walter was saying, it's like it's not about getting back to who I was. It's finding who I am. I'm an emotional person. What can I say? The idea that I lost myself for a long time. And Walter was just saying that it's not the... He was just talking about how the only thing that happened to me was that someone hid me from myself. But it's not someone. It was me. And I just, I'm so impatient. I just want to be there. You know what I mean? I want to be there already. But, thinking back, something my ex told me when we were still together, one day I was like, oh, I just want to get there. And he's like, yes, but you have to go through this to get there. Like, you don't have a choice. Like, that's great that you want to be there, but you have to do this. What's in front of you. You have to walk that road to get there. You just can't magically be there. It's so practical. And it's true. But I as I walk this path, it's not easy. Anybody out there who thinks like, okay, I get out of a depression and then life's on easy street, it's not. That's not how it works. It is better though. Excuse me for sniffling and snorting here. And it's not a straight line. It's like you're climbing a mountain. And, you get your footholds and you get your handholds. And sometimes, like, you reach up there and, like, the rocks crumble down. And it's not like a sheer cliff. You know what I mean? But you're climbing, and sometimes you kind of trip a little. Sometimes you get a rest for a minute. And it goes up and down, right? But it also seems every time... See, I keep saying you, and of course I mean me. But every time I get close to like breaking through, I throw up another block. There's something inside of me that wants to stay here. And I don't get that. I don't get that right now. I mean, it's scared, right? I'm scared. But I'm excited, right? If I can just get back to the way I used to think about things, the way I used to go after things. Like I went after things and I got them. That's just how it was. That's just how it was. Like, oh, I want that? Okay, I'll go get it. And that's what I did. It wasn't really a question. I would just do what I needed to do to get there. And then, you know, I did that a bunch of times and I stopped myself. I sabotaged myself a bunch of times. And now it's just scary to even try. And it's ironic. I don't even remember the, like, it's I don't know. I just lost my train of thought. It's scary. And I just want that again, where I could just go out and get what I wanted. That was pretty much what I did. And then I sabotaged myself. And then it becomes this thing where it's like, well, I'm just going to sabotage myself again. So I sabotage myself again. It's like, what? Why? It's ridiculous. And I see it. And I can see it happening. And I know it's happening while it's happening. And yet, but I am working on everything. It is getting better. It's just not like a break on through to the other side kind of thing. It's like a slow push up a hill. But I'm going to keep imagining it as a breakthrough. I just keep pushing and get back to that frame of mind where, okay, this is what X, Y, and Z is what I have to do to get there. So that's just what I'm going to do. So sit down and do it, right? Do it till it's done. What else would I do? You know? And then, but then I think that, and I sit down, and then all of a sudden, 4 hours have passed. I've barely done any work because I get distracted. You know what I mean? I should do this over here because that's more important. No, it's not more important. It's not. It's just not. But yeah, I'm getting better at it. And I should turn this on when I've got the distraction thing happening. But I keep dropping the ball. This is another thing. I got it all set up, all teed up, ready to go. And then I dropped the ball somewhere. And I was like, oh shit. Like tomorrow I have an interview with Andre on Jen's Pen Live. And he and I are building a course together. He's another author, and he's a book coach. And we're building a training together. And I'm having him on. He's a kind of a recurring guest. And we haven't really talked about what we're going to talk about yet. And we were supposed to talk today, and I just wasn't available for most of the day until like just a few minutes ago. And then like yesterday, because the other thing is I want to be preparing myself for getting back to my acting career. And part of that is tuning my instrument, right? My instrument as an actor, your instrument is your body and your voice. So I've been going back over the vocal techniques that I used to engage in, and feeling frustrated. It's also about like just not wanting to do something that I don't want to do. It's like so childish. You know, so I'm also hung up on that. Anyway, it's such petty things sometimes too. Like you think about them and you're like, why is this a problem? There are so many bigger problems in the world. Why is this a problem? This is silly. Anyway, so I am working on recognizing when I'm getting tense and feeling overwhelmed, breathing deep and relaxing, which is something I actually will help me in my vocal exercises as well, because like the technique that I kind of subscribe to is the Linklater technique, and it's about freeing the natural voice, and that's being in touch with everything that is how, like right now it's going over breathing exercises and stuff like that, and being very attached to your breathing in the sense of being aware of it and what it does naturally, because you have to allow it to be connected to impulse, emotional impulse. So I notice when I sigh and how that relaxes my body. And I can notice the energy. I am working on being more aware of the energy itself. Like I know I can feel it, but I'm so focused on the physical aspect, where the tension is in my body, that I feel like I'm not paying enough attention, or I'm not able to focus on the energy of the emotion as much. But that can change. I can feel it in my stomach and all the way up there. And I'll just center myself and meditate. So what I'm going to go do now is I'm going to pray and I'm going to meditate and I'm going to go to bed. So I am grateful for the ability to focus my awareness and the ability to clear my head, which takes practice, and that's why I'm going to go practice that. And yeah, I'm grateful for the ability to focus not just my awareness, but to direct it. It's my volition, and take action based on that volition, right? These are sort of the aspects of consciousness that I'm sort of realizing within myself. Because there's consciousness, there's the awareness, but it's not just awareness, right? It's volition and it's action. Volition's a big one. So anyway, I am going to leave you with that idea that if nothing else, we can be grateful for the fact that we are aware, and that we can recognize and attach our volition to that awareness and that true sense of being, that we are our soul, right? It's not like, oh, do I have a soul? I have to find my soul or whatever. No, you are your soul. That's who you are, and that your soul is your awareness. And that awareness can be directed, right? So that's volition. And you can will yourself to take action. Like, what a great, amazing thing to have. I mean, it's really pretty fucking cool, right? I mean, like, as far as we know, no other animal does that. No other animal. I mean, there's this cool video that I saw of a chimpanzee, a lady chimpanzee, that where they gave her a mirror, like, and she was just living in the jungle. It wasn't like she was in an enclosure or something. And she like grabs the mirror and she goes up to like the top of the tree and she just starts looking at it, and she's like looking at her face, and you can see that she knows that it's her face, and she's just like, whoa. And that's awareness, right? But as far as we know, human beings are the most aware of their awareness. And we have volition, we have choice, we have will, and we have the ability to decide what actions we're going to take and what actions we're not going to take. And we have the ability to direct our, not just our awareness, but to we have a control over what we choose, how we choose to go through this life. If we choose to be kind, if we choose to let things go and just watch them as they leave, as they come and they go, we have that ability to choose. Or we can choose to hold on to things, which is not good. Because we start identifying with those things. We define ourselves by those things. And I don't want to define myself by my blockages or my samskaras, as they're called. I don't want to define myself by the bad things that I've held on to in my life. I want to define myself by my ability to let all of that go and to move forward. So I can be grateful for that awareness, and I am going to encourage all of you guys to always remember that you can always choose to have a grateful night.